Alright, what's up guys? So this video we're going to look inside the Microtech Whaleshark and get a quick shot of the G10 on this sucker, which is really nice. And I also have, for the most part, fixed the pocket clip issue. It used to go straight up and it would really stick in your hand. So I just put a little bend on it. You can see ever so slight. I might go a little bit more, but I wanted it to still grab the pocket, which it does at this point, so I'll probably leave it like that. It's much improved. And all I did was take the pocket clip off, use some pliers and some protection, some cardboard, and just put a little bend on the end. But I figured it might be nice to look inside this thing, which I've done already, but I figured I'd do it on camera. So you're going to need this is a security bit, but it's it'll still work. It's a Torx, it's a T30, and that will take the pivot screw out on the newer Whalesharks. The older ones still have a big crazy driver, kind of like this, but it's the triangle shape is depressed in and very large, and I got this here from a guy online who makes drivers for Microtech. It was reasonably fairly reasonably priced. It'll go in any tool, any hex type tool like you see here, and will adjust, or it fits these crazy fasteners very well. Works like a charm. So without further ado, we're just going to get into it here. Figured some people might like to see on the inside of this thing. Trying to remember the name of the guy who made this driver, but I can't think of it. Maybe I'll think of it before the end. So you can see, even though the head of the screw is huge, the actual pivot itself isn't real big. You can see the blade stops here. They've put a piece of steel in there so that so it wasn't relying on the G10 for the blade stop. You can see it's recessed on both sides for the bearing system, which is just a little plastic carrier. If we can get it to focus. Plastic carrier with some bearings in it. Which fit right down inside I guess there is a right way, which sits right down inside the blade there and gives you that. Oh, I wanted to ask, The detent on this isn't real strong. Is anyone else noticing that? Maybe Sean will watch this and have an answer. Now you can see, there's the actual size of the pivot, so it's pretty standard sized. I mean, it's big enough, no doubt, but the heads of the screws don't have to be that big. Now Microtech makes all these themselves in-house, which is pretty cool. That's why they've got all these crazy fasteners, because obviously they don't want you to do what I'm doing right now, which is take it apart. I'm actually going to go the whole way, just because, so you can see everything. So I took the pocket clip off and just bent the end there flat, kind of like a Spyderco hourglass clip. It still didn't take away from the looks at all. I mean, they should obviously do that from the factory. For whatever reason they don't. Alright, so we've got it all the way apart. You can see there's not a whole lot of pieces. This is the backbone of the knife. These fit right into the holes in the G10. They're recessed. I mean, you can see the workmanship on these knives is great. And then the pocket clip screws screw into this piece of steel here. I believe it's steel. And it's press fit in there. I mean, it ain't coming out even without the screws in there. Also, you can see they've milled away part of the G10 there, where so you can't over travel the lock bar. So I mean, there's a lot of little features in this thing. Really pretty cool. But again, I'm curious about the detent. Mine's not real strong, which is a little scary on a tip-up knife. I'm not sure what exactly you do about it. It appears that the ball detent sticks up far enough, so yeah, I'm just not sure. But pretty cool. So, you guys probably don't have to watch me put it back together. I just thought some people might like to see inside. It goes back together real easy. Well, I guess you could stop watching if you don't want to watch. I'll just keep recording. So these little pieces fit right into the milled out recess in the G10. The screws are quite small, as you can see. Little tiny buggers. I'm sure they're hardened though, and they do the trick just fine. But now that I fixed that pocket clip thing, I mean, it's a whole nother knife. I mean, you can actually grab hold of the thing now. Snug it up. I'll put the pocket clip back on now. You can see even that's the tolerances, everything's just right. There's no question they can These guys really know what they're doing. Microtech is without question a high-end knife manufacturer. In my opinion, it's nice stuff. If you're looking at Whaleshark or the SF, well, I'll do another video on that actually. Snug that up. Make sure this back one's snug here, which it is. But there's really no reason to take this apart actually. I mean, you can see the bearings are open. You could just oil it from the outside. I mean, there's really no reason to take it apart other than getting the pocket clip fixed, which again I believe must be done on this particular knife. Sweet, sweet, super sweet. And everything will snap back in. I mean, the tolerances again are excellent on this blade. You would not want to mess up these screws here. So you want to be careful because Microtech is pretty bad about, I mean, I'm sure they would not send you screws. That's one thing I'm fairly sure of, which is unfortunate, but I mean, I guess I shouldn't say that because I never tried, but if they're going to go and put these kind of heads on these screws and, you know, make it so hard for you as the end user to adjust or take apart the knife, they don't want you to do it. So if they were to send you screws, I'd be surprised. But Lord knows I've been wrong before. So I'm still having if I want this blade centered, I've got to back off the pivot screw. To about yeah. And it develops just a little bit of, probably can't hear it because it's really just a tiny bit of play. But it does indeed. So I've pretty much given up and just accepted that it's, you know, I was thinking you could adjust this. Now that I've got the tool, you could probably bend the backspace, because maybe this backspace is slightly bent, or the G10 or something, but sometimes when you take a knife apart and put it back together, things like that will work themselves out. But that's not the case with this one. But super sweet blade. Let me know if anyone can. Let me know how the detent is on yours. You know, you can see there's nothing. I mean, it's virtually non-existent, actually. And when you're carrying tip up, you know, that's a scary proposition. But overall, I do really like the knife, and I like it even more now that I've remedied the pocket clip thing. I will put where I got the tool in the description if I remember. Otherwise, send me a PM or something and I can look it up. But you know, I'd say it's well worth the 20 bucks. It will fit like the SF too, some of the SF screws, but you'd have to get the bigger one for the pivot and the other one for the pocket clip, but it fits these ones. So I'm probably gonna have to order the, I think he makes the bigger one too, so I'm gonna have to get me that. But the I'm gonna make another video on it, but the SF is super sweet. It's just slightly interesting when you look at the two. They're very close in size, but look how much more edge the Whaleshark has. But again, that's another video, so I won't get into that here. But yeah, thanks for watching. If I could get some feedback on the detent on anybody else's, it'd be much appreciated. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.